Hi everyone. So welcome to today's lessons from a lockdown lurker. And to use the old kind of football analogy, it feels like it's been a game of two halves recently for me. In the last week, so that week after Christmas, I deliberately kept it fairly free in my calendar, knowing I had lots of prep and admin work to do. But I kept it free. And then blow me if just moving the right thing, if I didn't lurk too much. Not helped by the fact that my husband wasn't at his best. He had a hemorrhage thing going on, so had to take time out to kind of do bits for that. But it's interesting that when I settle back, when I lurk, when I shouldn't be lurking, I'm now paying the price because I'm spending lots of time playing catch up. So I mustn't ramble today because I'm squeezing this live in between two half-day training sessions. So this morning I've run a Positive Impact in Teams virtual course for one of my clients. And as you can imagine, I'm all about making sure that we don't overlook and speak over the introverts. And then this afternoon at 1:30, I'm running a new team leader program virtually. Everything's virtual at the moment. It took me to translate what I would normally be doing face to face into something that was usable, interesting, engaging, interactive as a virtual program. But hey, this morning went really well. I did it. And again, it just proves to me that just because I'm an introvert, don't let that rule me out and make me think that I can't do things. I had another little falling out with somebody on Facebook again this week. Somebody who was complaining about how how they couldn't do anything, using the excuses, playing victim. And I just can't deal with that anymore. I can't put up with that anymore. So I called them out on it and said that, yes, I understand we're introverts, but that doesn't mean we can't do anything. So I got back this whole tirade of, well, I hate people. I hate doing this. I hate doing that. And it got me thinking, it's really interesting because I don't hate. I mean, I was just going to say I don't ever hate. Maybe I do. But I find hate such a destructive emotion that I can disagree. I can certainly, hold my own in those different opinions. But I don't hate people who hold different opinions to me. I don't see the point in that. We're all entitled to our own opinion. And so long as it's not forced on me, then what's the point of hating? So I found that really interesting. And it really helped clarify my thinking again in terms of the people who choose to flourish as introverts are those who step out of that victim mode, out of that, can't possibly do anything, out of the excuses mode, and step very firmly into what's possible. Step very firmly into the land of possibilities. Good morning, Carol. Lovely to see you. It's clicked over into afternoon here, so it's just gone 1 o'clock on what was a terribly wet morning and is now a passably fine afternoon, but it's the week I'm choosing to have my back fences redone. So it's a bit of a bog out in my back garden. So I'm choosing to ignore all of that at the moment. So yeah, so there's something about being really clear about who the flourishing introverts are, as opposed to who the introverts are. And I never thought it would be such a clear distinction, but I'm finding it is, which is enormously helpful, because I don't think that I can help, or that maybe they wouldn't see my type of help as help. I don't think I can help introverts who are intent on continuing either with their social anxiety, or their hating the world, or their excuses. I think the people that I'm here to help are the ones who say, kind of let me at it. I'm an introvert. I know I need to recharge at the end of things and before things and sometimes in the middle of things. But that doesn't stop me making a fab contribution to the world. So they're the people that I'm really, really setting my stall out to work with and to help and to coach and develop and to mentor, whatever form it takes. I don't know. So the one thing that this little falling out served for me this week is that it really helped me to define what would be in my membership, because it isn't kind of persuading people, it isn't convincing people, it isn't trying to tell people they're wrong for being misanthropes, the people who hate people. What I'm doing is putting stuff out there that will appeal to those who say, there is much more that I can give. Show me how I can give that. So, yeah, so that's my little lesson, I think, for today, is how out of a spat on Facebook, another spat, I'm getting rather good at these, aren't I? How interesting is that? But following a little spat on Facebook, I'm absolutely can take some positive learning from it. And you know me, I'm all about that growth mindset, that positive mindset. And what that really enables me to do is to look at whatever situation it is and look hard to see where the learning is, look hard to see where the positive stuff is, rather than, just sit under it all and somehow, in a martyrish way, enjoy the weight that's on my shoulders. And I noticed, I'm going to share this, Carol, with everyone, where she says, a big weight came off my shoulders when I learned I'm an introvert because there's nothing wrong with me. Yes, absolutely. And so many people that I'm working with at the moment aren't discovering that until their 40s, 50s, even 60s. And, that is such a wonderful thing in its own right, to finally, whatever age it is. And again, I commented on someone's post who said, oh, I wished I'd known this years ago. But you know what? We can't change that we didn't know it years ago. But what we can do is say, okay, now I know what I know. What can I do with that now? And this particular person was talking about, I wished I'd known earlier because then I would have helped my introverted daughters more. Well, you can still help your introverted daughters. It's never too late to have that conversation, to have that interaction with them that says, now I understand. So the earlier, the quicker we can do that, then the easier it becomes for them and their offspring. So please don't mourn what we didn't know earlier. Please don't regret what we didn't know earlier, because the past is the past. It's history. There's nothing we can do about it. What's that saying? The past is history. The future is mystery. All we have is now, which is why they call it a present, or something like that. And I live by that. In these COVID times, it's striking people down at incredibly young age around here. It's quite shocking. None of us are guaranteed a future. I have a very positive mindset about it, but there's nothing guaranteed. What I have is right now, right here. And that's the bit that actually I can really influence. That's the bit where I can show up as my best self. And if I can be of help, of service to other introverts in that process, so be it. And if I can be of help and service to extroverts who want to understand us better, so be it. some of my best buddies are extroverts who get me, who understand me. They don't criticize me for who I am. They sometimes laugh at me, but you know what? We laugh together about it because I'm also laughing at them and their needs. Last week, my podcast episode was around overusing sorry, and how it's, introverts in particular, we're sorry if we want to speak. We're sorry that we've spoken. We're sorry for not knowing everything. There's too much that we're sorry for. This week, my episode is about the importance of friendship. And it's even as introverts, because again, introverts are not necessarily misanthropes. Some are, but I'm not. Normal introverts, that may be a bit unfair, but most introverts don't hate people, which brings me back to that hate thing I was talking about earlier. They just need the right friends, the right connections. So there's some great tips in this week's episode about how do you find the right people, the people that get you, the people that love you, the people that understand you, the people that support you, the people that can be advocates for you. Anyway, interesting. Yeah, let me just share. Abby here is saying, sorry all the time. Listen to that episode from last week and think about when we really need to say sorry, because we don't need to say sorry all the time. And yet, as Carol's saying, my personality is who I am. Thank you. Now, there is something here that I will remind you of, which is that my personality type, so my preference for introversion is not an excuse for my behavior. That's when people go into that victim mode, so I can't because I'm an introvert. I can do anything I want as an introvert. I just need to make sure that my batteries are charged properly. So, yeah. And Jenny, hi, Jenny, nice to see you. Absolutely, it doesn't matter what we didn't know years ago. We can't change that. It's what we do with it now. Spot on, spot on. Anyway, I'm going to have to shoot because at 1:30, I'm running my next bit of training for the day, which is new team leader training, and running it virtually, which takes a lot of my energy. So I need a little recharge time. I'm going to use a couple of my brilliant battery boosters just to boost my energy ready for the next half day of virtual training. Lovely to see you here all again. And if you're watching on replay, #replay, comments, thoughts, whatever. And I'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.